Mapletail here. Today I'm working on some art fight attacks for Team Crystals. If you're participating in this art gifting game, feel free to leave your username in the comments or come battle me at Mapletail. Let's get into it. My mission this week is Wildfrost. This roguelike deck builder is still one of my favorite games of all time, since buying it on its release day in April of 2023. My video game hyperfixations rarely last longer than a month or two, so you know this game is something special to me. I've spent who knows how many hours playing it across my Switch and PC copies of the game. And I have had a ton of fun creating several original characters inspired by its world. So you can imagine my disappointment in February of 2024 when I uploaded my first Wildfrost OC to Artfight, only to find she was the only one in the tag. So I took to Wildfrost's Discord and asked if any other fans were participating. Lo and behold, one was. Their OCs weren't tagged at the time, so I hadn't been able to find them on my own, but I was so hyped to discover that I wasn't alone. Then in the final days of the event, a third artist uploaded a lone Wildfrost OC. I was so excited to draw for both of them last year, and thus the seeds were planted. A couple other artists mentioning interest in adding their own Wildfrost OCs in the future, giving me great hope for this year's event. Hope that ended up being very well placed. I checked the Wildfrost tag often leading up to this month. New OC after new OC kept popping up. Some from those who mentioned wanting to add them, but also many more from the Wildfrost Discord. At the time of writing this, 9 artists, including myself, have uploaded Wildfrost OCs, bringing the tag from 0 all the way up to 29. I could not be happier, and I can't help but feel that I helped make this happen in some small way, by putting my own OCs out there and encouraging a couple other artists to do the same, and some of the others doing that too. It's just so cool to see this little community of artists, all inspired by the same thing, coming together for this year's art fight. And so, today I'm drawing for all of us. I knew I wanted to do something special for Art Fight's Wildfrost community this year, and decided to draw a mass attack, choosing one OC from each artist, and putting them into a scene from the game, a battle in the tundra, the first area of the game. The two sides representing the two art fight teams, Crystals on the left and Fossils on the right. It doesn't at all surprise me that we've got more crystals than fossils, as Wildfrost gives me major crystal vibes. Let's get into the OCs themselves. I started with one of my own, Shademancer Starloom. I wanted to include a leader type card, and I was kinda the only one with one at the time. Keywords at the time, but we'll get into that later. When playing the game, I almost always keep my leader card at the back for safety, as if they die, it's game over. So that's where I drew Starloom. Next up was Little Tinkerson by Mega Marine. Her scrap ability is admittedly useless with the rest of the characters I put on the board, but she makes up for it with overall adorableness. To her right is Mei Ling by Orchid Embers, an OC I drew last year, but still wanted to include so I could get everyone. I put her up front, as the Overburn sword wielder looks like she can handle herself in a fight. Starting Team Crystal's bottom row is Crabtan by Rio Pot. With low attack but high defense, the Ice Crab inspired OC is prepared to jump in the front when the time comes. Ice blocks at the ready. Next to her is De Maestro by Lost Art, the other artist I drew for last year, but a different OC. This demonized unit has a magical musical instrument and isn't afraid to use it. Finishing off the team is Pine by Verdago, a Shell Knight who protects his allies with sword and shield, a perfect unit to have up front. Let's look at the other side's Team Fossil cards. Starting off with Goose by Dragon, the perfect combination of berry and tooth. The headstrong warrior leads the charge on the enemy team. Behind him is Harper by Foxinked, another musician and a cat, much like my own OC Lula, ready to fight fire with fire, or rather music with music, against the other team's De Maestro. And lastly is Hermit by Speckle, an OC I've drawn before by commission after last year's art fight. A former Clunk Master who took up a powerful hammer of ice, happy to help her allies fight against the treacherous Wildfrost. And there you have it. I'm so happy with how this piece ended up, and I'm already excited to draw for all these artists again next year. Most of them have several Wildfrost OCs I've yet to draw, and I'm hopeful that even more fans of the game join Artfight in future events, or maybe even later this month. Speaking of, I did a second drawing for Orchid Embers of their own Shademancer OC that they added a little later on. I'm such a sucker for that tribe, not to mention purple-themed OCs, so I had to draw Veva as a little extra, putting her in the ice caves of the game. Seeing all these OCs this year is also inspiring me to create even more. I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up adding more to my page next year. But I'm going to focus on making art for others for the rest of the month. My goal is still to do 90 attacks, and at the time of making this video, I've completed 41. But I'm sure that number is much higher by the time you're seeing this, as I recorded it a fair bit in advance, and I'm very speedy. I've also started receiving some Wildfrost themed art in return for my mass attack. Art of my OCs Starloom by Orchid Embers, Talon by Foxinked, and Leica by Speckle, some of which have never been drawn for, which was very hype, and a lovely drawing of my cat girl Nyx by Lost Art, as well as being included in a breathtaking Wildfrost mass attack by Dragon, my OC Lula in there. Sincerely, one of the most beautiful pieces I have ever seen. I'm still so in awe. I've got all the art I've received cycling as my laptop wallpaper, and I'm always extra excited when that one pops up. I may have gotten other drawings by now too, but like I said, I wrote this over a week ago. And with that, I think I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. On the extremely small chance that you have a Wildfrost OC on Artfight and I haven't drawn for you yet, please let me know. I gotta catch them all. But otherwise, I hope you're having a great event if you're participating. It's always such an exciting time of year, and I'm looking forward to continuing to draw every day for the rest of the month. Next week's mission will be Baldur's Gate 3 and D&D OCs, so keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you next Thursday.